Welcome to AutoCAD Diaries, your ultimate destination for the perfect fusion of artistry and technology. Dive into the mesmerizing world of paper making, where we unravel the secrets of crafting beautiful creations from scratch. But that's not all. Join us as we delve into the realm of AutoCAD tutorials, mastering the tools and techniques to bring your designs to life with precision and creativity. From the fundamentals to advanced applications, we've got you covered. Get ready to unleash your creativity, enhance your skills, and explore the endless possibilities of paper art and CD design. Subscribe now and let's embark on this exhilarating journey together. When you open AutoCAD 2021 for the first time, the user interface can actually be quite daunting for the beginner. There's a lot of information there in front of you, and what I want to do is just take you through some of the basic tools that are available to you and the features within the AutoCAD 2021 user interface. Now you'll notice at the top of the screen we've got another file open. Now it's 01 User Interface. DWG. We're going to explore the user interface in this particular section. Let's take an overall view of the working screen in AutoCAD 2021. Now you'll notice at the top of the screen there's lots of icons and the title bar telling us the name of the DWG file. Underneath that we have tabs. They are known as things like Home, Insert, Annotate, Parametric, and each time you click on one of those tabs it'll open a different part of the ribbon. Underneath that you then have what they call the Start tabs or Drawing tabs, and these tabs are very useful, and we'll go into all of this in a lot more detail. And then where you can see the actual drawing itself, that's known as the drawing area. And to the right of the drawing there you can see your view cube with the north, SE, and west on it. And there's a bar to the right just down the right and side of the drawing area. That's known as the navigation bar. Now all of these tools get used within AutoCAD itself, and I'll touch on all of them in this section as we go through the exercises. So I just want to show you some of the items that are more biased towards using the product. Rather than actually drawing within AutoCAD, right at the beginning, here at the top left corner of the screen we have the application menu like so. You can see the application menu, and what it does is it shows you basic commands within AutoCAD such as open, save, save as, import, export, publish, print drawing utilities, and obviously close. That's the application menu for you there in a nutshell. And you can see that you can change the listings here. I can go to Open Documents and I've got 01 User Interface open, or I can go to Recent Documents. I can also search for commands in the Help You here. If I type in line, for example, that will take me to all of the mentions of line in all the help screens and so on, and then if I click away from that and remove this like so. It then takes me back like that, and I just hit Escape there on the keyboard, and that loses the application menu next to the application menu. Here we have the Quick Access toolbar. Now you can see here there's various commands that are on the application menu such as New, Open, Save, Save As. You've also got a little plot there. You've also got Undo and Redo as you have in many other products as well. Now the other thing here is Workspaces, which we will be touching on. You can see you can look at your relevant and most current workspace there. You've then got the title bar showing us the name of the file. Over here to the right we have the Info Center. There's our help. We can search for results and help. We can sign into Autodesk A360. We've also got the Autodesk Exchange Store. And we've also got Stay Connected with the online community, and we've also got the help screens as well. I can click there to access the help whenever I need to in AutoCAD 2021. Those are the sort of features that allow you to use the product rather than draft with the product, and what we'll do as we work through this section, I'll show you things like how to use the ribbon, how to use the Start tab, how to use the View cube, and so on. Let's start working through these features of AutoCAD 2021 and see how we can explore the user interface, learn how to use it, and then use AutoCAD 2021 effectively. Using ribbon. Now the ribbon itself is at the top of the AutoCAD screen. You can see it there, and we're in the default tab at the moment, which is the Home tab here. You can see if I click on a tab here and go to Insert, it shows me a different group of icon panels each time. Now an icon panel is a group of icons like this for a particular feature within AutoCAD. This is the text panel in the Annotate tab on the ribbon. Now you can expand out the panels by clicking on this little arrow here next to the panel title. So if there's more icons, like in this case there is Scale like so. I can also pin that open, so if I click on the pin it stays open, and when I move away it doesn't go back into the ribbon itself. If I unpin it goes back in again when I move away. Now you can see these ribbon panels give me all the different icons that I need to work with when I'm operating AutoCAD 2021. Now going back to the ribbon, you can also see that there's these little arrows in the corner of each title bar as well. These are style buttons. Oh, you can see there if I hover over that one it says text style. If I click on that it opens you the text style dialog box, or I can go and set you my text styles, and you can see there I've got an Arial text style, and you can see it's there using the font Arial, font style regular, and so on. Now the good thing about this is I can go into them there. Oh, let's go back to the Home tab on the ribbon now, and what I might do is go and click on the line command that immediately kicks in the line command, and you can see there in the drawing area when I move the crosshair in. It's asking me to specify the first point of the line. I'll just hit ESC there to cancel that command. That's what you do. You go to the panel on the ribbon that is on the tab, and what you can find is the icon that you need. You click on it and then you start working in AutoCAD. Now that's great, but the appearance of the ribbon can be changed. Oh, let's just go to this funny little button you hear. Now a lot of people click on this button and don't know what's going on when they click on it. Click on it once, you'll notice that the appearance of the ribbon changes and we go to just panels like so. Now if I hover over one of these, the panel is still there. But it just reduces the space that the ribbon takes. You click on that button again. It now goes purely to little pull-out menus. Can you see if I click on view there? Or clipboard, there's the panel, so I just click on each one and they're there if I click on it again. They've gone completely, and now I have to click on each one like that. Can you see I'm clicking on the tab and it appears? As I move away it disappears. Oh, those are 3 different ways of viewing the ribbon in AutoCAD 2017, and now you know what to do if you do accidentally click on this button and your ribbon disappears as well. If I click on it one more time, can you see there the tool tab is telling me show full ribbon, and I go back to the full ribbon setting and I can go back to the Home tab like so. Oh, you can see that the ribbon is quite a sophisticated piece of machinery, and what it allows you to do is get to all the different icons in a quick, sophisticated manner so that you can draft within AutoCAD quickly and effectively. Now there's one more really neat tool available in the ribbon. It's a thing called sticky panels, and I discovered it purely by mistake one day when I was using one of the later versions of AutoCAD. It is however still available in AutoCAD 2021, and what you can do is if you move your pointer or crosshair you to say the draw panel there, can you see when you hover over a title bar? It highlights, and it highlights yearly because it knows that that's the title bar that you want to use. But if I click and hold and drag, I can drag that entire panel into the drawing area. And just leave it there like that. Now that's wonderful, you might say, because it means all my tools are now directly in front of main. I've got that kind of heads you user display thing going on, which is great. However, what it also allows me to do is if I've got a dual screen set, I can have all of my annals, my sticky panels in one part of the screen while I'm doing the drafting in another part of the screen, or even on a different screen. Now here's the kicker though, if I go to something like the Annotate tab on the ribbon, you would have thought that when I put this draw annal back into the ribbon, it's going to end you in the Annotate tab in the wrong place. No, it's not. What I do is I hover here, can you see there's a little icon at the top there, Return Annals to Ribbon. It's that funny little sort of T-shaped one. If I click on that, it does go back into the ribbon, but it does not go into the Annotate tab. Where's it gone? If I go back to the Home tab, it's back where it should be. There's the draw panel there. That's a really cool tool within AutoCAD. And if you've never used AutoCAD before, it's just a really helpful little one to know, because you can move your sticky panels around, and if you're using one of them regularly, which you will do with the draw panel, but you also want to get to features on the Annotate panel. Like that, you can also get the sticky panel, the draw annal here, and then just go to the Annotate tab and use any of the Annotate panels and you're off. The world is your oyster, as they say. Oh, you can go in there and utilize those tools quickly and effectively using the ribbon, and also go with that sticky panels. It's a really useful little feature in the ribbon in AutoCAD 2021. What we're going to look at now is how we change the workspace in AutoCAD 2021. Now, changing the workspace is a very useful tool because you work in a number of different environments. When you're working in AutoCAD, you can work in a 2D environment. You can work in a 3D environment as well, creating 3D models and 3D drawings. And what AutoCAD has is this thing called workspaces that allows you to have a particular workspace for the particular environment in which you work. Now workspaces can be switched on and off and toggled between. You can work in a 2D workspace and then jump into a 3D workspace if you want to. How do you get to these workspaces? Well, there are a number of default workspaces available to you in AutoCAD, and they're on the quick access toolbar at the top of the screen. If I click there, you can see that there's my workspaces pulled down right there like so. Now if you don't have the workspaces pulled down, if you click on the end of your quick access toolbar, there's a little sort of looks like an eject symbol on a CD player. Click there and you can customize your quick access toolbar, and you'll notice that workspace there for me is ticked. If I click there like that, that removes it. There's the eject symbol there. Click there. If I click workspace again, it's now ticked, and when I click on the end of it, now I've got the workspace little pull down menu there. There's my workspaces. Now these are all different workspaces that allow me to work in my AutoCAD environment. You can see we have drafting and annotation. We have 3D basics, we have 3D modeling. You should, however, have drafting and annotation, which is your 2D workspace. You've then got the 3D basics and the 3D modeling. You've also got some commands here that we'll look at in a minute. Now the 3D basics. If I click on it, will take me into a basic 3D workspace that I use in a 3D environment. You can see that I can create 3D masses like extrusions, revolves, lofts, and sweeps. I can also draw lines and polygons. I still have the regular 2D commands. And you can see there that I've got a lot of 3D tools available to me. If I click on the flyout again and go to 3D modeling, which is the full 3D workspace for working on 3D models, you can see that the ribbon changes again. And that's what a workspace is. You're setting a workspace for the environment in which you work. If I'm doing a whole load of 3D modeling, that's the 3D modeling workspace that I would be in. If I want to go back to my 2D ribbon, I just select drafting and annotation like so, and I go back to the regular ribbon like so. That's how they work like that, and it's actually a really useful tool, because it allows me to work within AutoCAD in the environment that I want to work in. Now, down in the bottom right corner of the screen on the status bar, you've also got the ability to change your workspaces here as well. Now you'll notice they do go slightly off the bottom of the screen there, but you've still got the same list. It's exactly the same menu, it's just in a different place on the screen, on the status bar there, and you press escape to lose that menu when you don't need it. You just press S key on the keyboard. Like that, and I'll save that now. That saves that into my AutoCAD. Using status bar now, the status bar is down at the bottom of the AutoCAD screen. It's not this one here. This is the command line where you can type commands, so I can type the line command in, for example. Now it's quite rare that people use the command line a lot nowadays because obviously you've got all the icons in the ribbon, but as you can see, if I type in the line command there, I get a suggestion menu that gives me lots of different commands with the word line in it. That's the command line itself. Now down just below that though is the status bar, and starting from the left-hand end you can see that's drawing coordinates as I come into the drawing and move the crosshair around. AutoCAD uses a coordinate system, and you can see those coordinates changing as the crosshair moves. You'll notice down here I'm in the Model tab, and the status bar is telling me I'm in Model Space because I'm in the Model tab. If I was in one of the Layout tabs, this little button here would say Air. Now you'll notice all these icons here. Some are blue and some are gray. Now you'll notice this one here, Dynamic Input. I never ever turn that one off. That's what brings you the dynamic input on the screen. If I went to the line command, you'll notice it's down on the command line where you can see line specify first point in that white box there. But also I've got it next to the crosshair, and that's the dynamic input, so I could lose the command line completely if I wanted to. I don't tend to get rid of it because sometimes you do need to type in a variable or a value or possibly even a command, but my dynamic input I leave on all the time. I'll just hit escape there to cancel that line command. Now there's lots of other icons. There's things like restricting the cursor to specified angles, known as polar tracking. We've also got object snap tracking. We've got object snaps. We'll go into all of these as we start working through the course for auto. One more really nice feature though that is available for the status bar is these little 3 bars here at the end of the status bar customization. Now when I click on this, this will fly right off the top of the screen like so. It's a big, long, tall, thin menu, but you can see that everything that is ticked is switched on down on the status bar. For example, if I go here 2D object snap. If I switch that off by clicking on it, can you see the little TI goes away? You'll notice the object NA has gone from here on the status bar. If I click on it again, it comes back again, and there's my 2D object snap icon there again. Now that customization is great because you can switch things off and on that you want to use at any particular given time, and then once you're done, you just go back to the little 3 bars at the end, click on it again, and it disappears. It's a little on-off toggle switch, but it's extremely useful and it allows you to customize your status bar to whatever functionality you require. As we start working through the course, you'll find that we talk about a lot of the things on the status bar and the functions they perform. Don't worry too much about them now, but feel free to investigate them and see what they do. It's always worth tinkering with settings in AutoCAD to see whether you can make things better or sometimes worse so that you learn from it and make the changes accordingly so that you can work with AutoCAD quickly and effectively. Using drawing tabs, as I've mentioned previously, now when you're working in a DWG file, there are 2 sets of drawing tabs that you can work with down in the bottom left corner of the screen. You have your what is known as Model and Layout tabs. Now these work with the DWG file and allow you to work in different spaces to create your design. Now the Model tab is where you do all your designing. Normally at 1:1 scale, then what you would do is go into a Layout tab. So if I click on one like that, you can see there's a Layout tab there, and what it's got is a sheet of air and what is known as a viewport, a scaled view of what you've got in your drawing. This allows you to communicate your design intent by way of creating, in essence, a drawing sheet that can then be printed or perhaps PDF out to a client to show them your new design. Now what you've got here is, if I come back to the Model tab, it takes me back into the model space. As you can see, I can create as many new tabs as I like by clicking on the new Layout button. There, that little plus sign. I can create any number of new layouts I want in a DWG file. You can only ever have one Model tab, but as many Layout tabs as you need. Obviously, don't go crazy with that. You don't want 150 layout tabs in a DWG file, ideally maybe 5 maximum, just to be on the safe side. It just keeps things simple. If you need more than 5, you obviously need to create another different new DWG file and work that way. Instead, it just keeps the drawing file, the DWG file, a little less complicated. Now above the drawing area, just underneath the ribbon, you can see we have the Start tab and the 01 Exploring User Interface tab. Now the 01 Exploring tab is basically the drawing tab of the current drawing. I can have any number of these tabs running along here underneath the ribbon. If I want to create a new drawing, I just click on the plus sign and that literally creates a new blank drawing using the new blank template that I have already within AutoCAD itself. So that just uses what is called a template, a DWT file that is already part of the AutoCAD installation. If I click here, it takes me back to the 01 Exploring User Interface drawing like so. If I click on the Start tab, that takes me to the Start screen, and you'll notice there I can use Get Started. I can open a file, I can use a template, for example. There's the templates there that I just mentioned. So I can start a blank drawing from a template. I can open a sheet set. I can get more templates online. There's my recent documents there, for example. I've got notifications. It's telling me that offline help is not installed. Now, when you use your help in AutoCAD, it's internet-based. You have to have an internet connection. However, you can go and install an offline help and download the offline help. You can see it there. Click the Help menu, Download Offline Help. It downloads the file, you install it, and then it's local to your machine. You'll notice that we can also connect, we can sign into things like Autodesk 360, and we can also send feedback on the product so that the guys at Autodesk can improve AutoCAD and make it better. Let's go back now to 01 Exploring. There's our 01 Exploring drawing. Now one more thing with the drawing tabs, you'll notice there's a little asterisk there next to the 01 Exploring in the tab there. What that means is that drawing has had changes made to it, but it hasn't been recently saved. If I jump you here to the Quick Access toolbar and just as quickly click on Save there, can you see that little asterisk disappears because I've saved any changes that have been made to the drawing? That's your drawing tabs in AutoCAD 2021. Again, little tools in the user interface that just allow you to work that little bit quicker, that little bit more effectively. And you become more productive. And more importantly, if you have this kind of information to hand, you can be the guru of AutoCAD in your office. And that means that you know all the little tricks, which means people come to you and ask for help. Navigation bar, the NAV bar or navigation bar as it's known. Actually down here on the right-hand side in the drawing area, it's just here with all these little icons here. Now before we get into it, just be aware that we're still using the 01 Exploring file. What the navbar allows us to do is navigate the drawing. Now before we actually use the nav bar, there's a little variable that you need to know. Now if you've got dynamic init switched on, you can just move the crosshair into the center of the screen and type nav navbar and press enter. Like that, and it means that you can have the nav bar either on or off. Oh, if I click on off now, you'll see it disappears. It's not there anymore on the right-hand side of the screen if I just right-click now. And repeat navbar on the shortcut menu. I can switch it on again like so, and it comes back again. It's a really neat little tool. I always leave it switched on. Now let's have a look at the nav bar. And you can see you've got various icons there. You've got navigation wheels. Oh, if I click on a navigation wheel, this brings this navigation wheel into the drawing itself, and it allows me to zoom and pan. Oh, if I hover over and on the navigation wheel, hold it down, you'll see I can pan around in the drawing by moving the mouse release, the navigation wheel comes back. If I go to zoom and hold it down and then move you and down again on the mouse, I can zoom in and out. Now the other one that I can use, there is a thing called orbit. Now you'd normally use this in 3D, but for example, if I click and hold and drag, can you see now it's definitely a 2D drawing that's flat. As you can see, because I'm rotating in 3D now, and as you can see there, you'll notice, can you see the view cube moving around as I do that? When we look at the view cube in a minute, you'll see how the view cube works as well. Now when I release now, you'll notice you here top left I've got custom view, and what it means is basically I've got to go back to a named view within the AutoCAD variable set. And you can see there I can rewind, I can go back a view. Can you see that, which is really clever? I can go all the way back like so, and that takes me back to my different views that I have. This navigation wheel just follows me around until I click on that little cross there and it's gone. Now you'll notice I've also got pan. Click on pan, little pan symbol appears. Hold down on the wheel on the mouse and move the mouse. I pan like so. I can right click to get out of there if I want to and exit, or I can hit escape a couple of times. Now here I've got all my zoom tools. Oh, if I click on the down arrow here, now you'll see all the zoom commands OU on the screen. U is the zoom extents or zoom window. If I click on zoom window, I can now click and drag a window around an area and I zoom into that area. Oh, I've got all my zoom commands in AutoCAD just on that little menu there. Just hit escape a couple of times there and go back again. Click on the flyout and I want to zoom extents this time, and it zooms to the extents of the plan in the drawing area. Now you'll notice here I've got all my orbit tools, which I did mention earlier. So I've got orbit, free orbit, and continuous orbit. Now I don't actually need any of those to work in a 2D drawing, but you can see the benefits if I was working in 3D there. Last but not least, here I have a thing called show motion, which actually allows me to record, and you'll notice now I can record things if I want to and record anything that I want to on screen. Now nothing's actually happening at the moment because I haven't actually switched it on. But what I can do is I can come down here to this little bar. Now I just need to move the command line UA bit, and you can just see a little bar there. There's my show motion tools there. Oh, play, all I can stop, and I can record, and so on. Oh, if I now stop that, what it'll do is it'll actually record a video for me, and I can go back and play it if I want to. Now the whole idea of that is it takes me through all of the tools there that allow me to record screenshots and little video walkthroughs and things. Oh, you can see how important that navbar is. Now if I want to switch show motion off, I can do that, or I can click there, close, show motion like that. And I'll just bring the command line back down again. I can dock that there like so. Oh, you can see how that navigation bar has some pretty amazing tools on it that you can use to navigate around your AutoCAD drawing, but more importantly with little tools like the 3D connection, the space mouse, and also the show motion. You can start regressing into 3D and develop some really functional 3D information from your AutoCAD designs as well. Using View Cube, you will have noticed in the previous when we were using the navigation wheel on the NAV bar that the View Cube moves in conjunction with the location of the drawing in a 3D environment. Oh, what we're going to look at now is what the View Cube can do for us. Oh, if I come down here to the NAV bar and click on orbit here and just like do an orbit like so, what I can do now is I can quickly do an orbit and I can just rotate the drawing like that. And then I'm going to right click and exit the orbit command like that. Oh, my drawing view. Now what you'll notice is the view cube is aligned with that view. And I've got a custom view. Oh, if I click on view controls there, you'll notice there's all these set views, top, bottom, isometric views, all of these tools here, these views here, are what is represented by the view cube. Oh, a corner of the view cube is an isometric view, the back of the cube is the back view of the drawing, and so on. You've also got the view manager. which if I click on there will take me to the View Manager and I can set model views, layout views, and save them if I want to. I'm going to cancel that for the moment because we're looking at the ViewUbe now. The ViewUbe over here is a really neat tool. If I click on the home icon, that actually takes me to a default view. Now obviously, I'm working with a 2D drawing. I can do so utilizing the navigational tools available in the ViewUbe. You can see there that each axis has its own color, the X, Y, and Z axis. X and Y are the green and the red. The Z is the blue. Now the view cube is wonderful because if I want to get back to that top view, I just go and hover over the top marker there on the cube. And I'm back in the top view again. Now the lovely thing as well, I can rotate the view cube if I want to, so the view can rotate like that, so I can go all the way around each point of the compass as well. If I want to go back to my symmetric, I click on a corner of the view cube and there we are again. Now it may be that I want the top view for this particular drawing. Let's make that N at the top like that. I can set a different home view anytime I want to, and that's the lovely thing about the view cube. I can set it to a parallel view, a perspective view, or a perspective with ortho faces that's predominantly for 3D. But what I can do is go into the view cube settings. There's all my settings there on the screen. I can set an on-screen position, the view cube size. It's automatic at the moment. If I switch that off, I can make it bigger and smaller. Do I want it opaque or non-opaque? I can change that as well. I can also show the UC menu, that's where it says WC. There's lots of little settings there to customize your view cube. Depends on whether I'm working in 2D and isometric or 3D, but it's always useful no matter which environment you're working in AutoCAD 2021. Let's have a look at what happens when we start drawing in AutoCAD and what the shortcut menu does. Now, it may be that I want to start drawing some walls, so I'm just going to hover over this line here. And it tells me that that is the layer frame. Let's go to the layers here and we'll look at layers in more detail later. And what I want is the wall layer to be current, so I'm drawing on the appropriate layer like that. Now I'm going to zoom in. Nice and close like that, and I want to draw either a line or a polyline to perhaps expand this way to create a new line here. I go to the line command here, and that's on the home tab on the draw panel. And what I might do is I might utilize that endpoint there just for now and drag a line across now as soon as I right-click. There's a shortcut menu. Now there are default entries on that shortcut menu such as in Zoom, Steering Wheels, and Quick Calc. However, the undo and the snap overrides are there to allow us to draft with the line command. If I continue drawing or errors, click on Enter. If I click on Enter, that's the equivalent of pressing Enter on the keyboard now because I haven't specified a second point of that line. It's the equivalent of just hitting Enter halfway through the command, which closes the command out. If I now click Online again, and come here like this and click there and come across and click a second time. I've now got a line segment there, and as I move around, can you see it's asking me to do the next line segment, the angle, the distance, and so on. If I right-click now, it's context sensitive. If I undo, it undoes that last line segment, which is so much better than using the undo at the top on the quick access toolbar, because it only undoes the last segment. If I draw a segment like that and then I hit escape like that and then undo, it undoes the whole line. Even if I've done loads of different segments, oh, if I click here and go 1 to 2 bit of a word line, I have to say, but the whole idea is I right-click, use the shortcut menu, enter, I'm finished. If I undo that, now it undoes all of the line segments rather than just the most recent one. Oh, if I right-click in the middle of the line command and just use the undo on the shortcut menu. It's context sensitive, so it only undoes the last line segment. Oh, what happens now if I right-click without a command present? As you can see, I get the default shortcut menu. The nice thing about this, I can repeat the last command, I can repeat recent input, I can use the Windows clipboard, I can isolate objects. So if I want to isolate an object now, for example, and I select, let's say, that line there, and I right-click to confirm, it isolates the whole line, and that's it. Everything else has disappeared. If I now right-click again and go to isolate, and end object isolation, everything comes back. Oh, there's some really neat tools on that shortcut menu. Let's go and look at a polyline, for example, similar to a line but with more features. If I click on the polyline command again, Home tab on the ribbon draw panel, and I use the same process. I use the endpoint snap there, I click on it, and I just drag across and click again, and then I right-click. You'll see it's context sensitive. I've now got all of my polyline tools such as arc, half width, length, undo width, and so on. Now I'm not going to bore you with all of those. What I'm going to do is hit ESC a couple of times and just cancel the command, and then I'm going to select the polyline. The shortcut menu I can erase, even though erase is you here on the modify panel. Oh, the nice thing is I've got a right-click shortcut menu with all of my editing tools as well. When I select an object, oh, I'll just erase that line because I don't need it. Now the good thing about this is the shortcut menu. It's just wonderful like that. And what it does is it actually allows you to use AutoCAD more effectively in a contextual environment. In the command that you're using, oh, make sure that you utilize that shortcut menu. It's a very effective tool in AutoCAD 2021.